John Sangwa breaks silence. We are worse off than 1964. A shocking warning to Zambia. Good day, and welcome to InspirAfrica Official. Tonight, one of Zambia's most outspoken voices, constitutional lawyer and Movement for National Restoration founder, John Sangwa, has sent shockwaves across the nation. His message: Zambia is worse off today than it was in 1964, the year we gained independence. In a time when many hoped democracy would bring prosperity, Sangwa warns that we may have simply replaced one form of control with another. So what exactly did he mean? Is this a political statement, or a painful truth about where the country stands 60 years after independence? Stay with us as we unpack his powerful words, and explore whether Sangwa's warning is a wake-up call, or a cry of despair. We are worse off than 1964. John Sangwa is no stranger to controversy. From his battles with the Constitutional Court to his criticism of state institutions, he has often challenged Zambia's leaders to live up to the promises of independence. But his latest remarks, declaring that the country is worse off than 1964, have reignited debate about whether Zambia has truly advanced in governance, economy, and justice. In this video, we'll break down the full context behind Sangwa's statement, what he meant by comparing modern Zambia to the colonial era, the political and legal implications of his words, and how citizens and leaders have responded so far. Let's begin with what triggered his latest statement, and why it's making so many uncomfortable. As one of Zambia's most respected legal minds, Sangwa's words carry weight and controversy. Tonight, we explore his message, its historical context, and what it reveals about Zambia's democracy, corruption, and leadership in 2025. Join us as we unpack whether this is a call for reform, or a warning that Zambia's democratic dream is slipping away. Watch till the end and share your thoughts. Is Sangwa right? The revelation came to light in early October 2025, when constitutional lawyer John Sangwa, SC, appeared on Hot FM's Hot Seat program, a platform that has become synonymous with hard-hitting political discourse in Zambia. Born in Mansa on December 29, 1964, just months after Zambia gained independence from British colonial rule, Sangwa has been a fixture in Zambian legal circles for over 3 decades. The son of Davies Sangwa from Winalunga district in northwestern province and a mother from Luapula province, he co-founded the prestigious law firm Simeza, Sangwa and Associates, which became one of the most respected legal practices in the country. But October 2025 marked a turning point. During his appearance on Hot FM, Sangwa didn't just offer legal commentary. He delivered a scathing diagnosis of Zambia's condition. He traced what he called a systematic failure of governance stretching back to 1964, arguing that despite the country's vast natural resources and potential, successive leaders have failed Zambians due to a fundamental disregard for good governance, rule of law, and constitutionalism. On October 7, 2025, Sangwa went further, telling Emmanuel Mwamba's verified program that Zambia was on a path to being classified as a failed state. The statement immediately triggered a fierce reaction from the ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, government. Then, on October 12, 2025, came the bombshell that nobody expected. John Sangwa announced his retirement from active legal practice, effective immediately, to form the Movement for National Renewal, MNR. In his public statement, he declared that Zambia's rebirth required a moral, civic, and institutional awakening, and that he could no longer stand on the sidelines. He issued what he called a call to national reflection, 10 questions of conscience meant to awaken a sense of national duty among Zambians. Among them, the most provocative was this: are we prepared to make the hard sacrifices required for national renewal, to reject corruption in all its forms, to end the culture of wastage, and to embrace responsibility not only in leadership but also in family and community life? The government's response was swift and, some would say, desperate. Let's hear directly from the key figures in this unfolding drama. Their words paint a picture more vivid than any analysis could provide. John Sangwa, speaking on Hot FM's Hot Seat. Listening to what has happened in Zambia since 1964. While we have resources locally and the potential to be better than now, successive leaders have failed because of failure to adhere to good governance, rule of law, and constitutionalism. There is no need for any normal and honest president to embark on changing the constitution to create more seats in parliament which will gobble more money from the people. when the current number of MPs is a headache to finance through Constituency Development Fund. On Emmanuel Mwamba's program, Sangwa's tone became even more urgent. I have challenged Zambians, and if they are willing, let's join hands. I cannot assume that they are willing. It's a huge sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice. And I'm calling upon Zambians to say, let's make the sacrifice for a better Zambia. Now, if people are not willing to sacrifice, then that is their choice. He continued, addressing the judiciary. One of the other things that people don't realize is that a strong judiciary is key for the economic development of any country. No serious investor will go and invest in a country where the judiciary is weak, where the judiciary is open to corruption. We get queries as lawyers all the time, where we are queried, how strong is your judiciary? And we are close to being unable to explain. For example, you have cases, commercial cases that have been in court for nearly 20 years. Now, what business can survive litigation for 20 years? The government strikes back. Mark Simue, UPND Media Director, issued an official statement on October 7, 2025. As a senior lawyer, one would expect Mr. Sangwa to speak from a position of knowledge, guided by the law. A lawyer who is firm and grounded in legal principles must always be known for citing the law, not making political statements masked as legal arguments. In his recent outburst, which we can only describe as political rhetoric, Mr. Sangwa failed to cite any specific provision of the law that has been violated. Simue continued, when he claims that Zambia is becoming a failed state, we must ask, has he forgotten where this country has come from? Is the significant reduction in political violence under the new Dawn administration by accident? Are the functioning and independence of media houses under President Hakainde Hichilema's leadership by accident? Paul Kabuswi, Minister of Mines, was even more pointed. Zambia is not sliding into a failed state. Zambia is intact. It will never be a failed state under UPND and President Hichilema. The problem is he wants to bring academic thinking into the running of a country. He is a very misguided politician. He doesn't understand. He has been a lawyer and doing all academics. Let him come into politics and understand how countries are run, not the way he is thinking. His thinking is queer. Then came what many considered a bizarre attack. Zambians won't fund your ambitions. He is the wrong guy to fit Zambian politics. Let him abandon his Ka accent of his. Let him go and talk to the people normally, not just speaking English in that accent. Sangwa's response on Prime TV's One-on-One. It's very sad, because I was just told that you're going to bruise me. What have I done to you for you to say you're going to bruise me? First of all, we've never met. We are all Zambians, and we are all trying to find ways and means to better this country. Why should we be bruising one another? Instead of talking that kind of language, there should be a language of love. He addressed the state of the nation directly. There is no single sector in this country that is working as it should. That's the problem. Our judiciary is dead, our parliament is dead, and you have a problem. Even the executive is not conducting itself as it should. For example, why would anybody be thinking of changing the Constitution 10 months before the election? Why would anybody who is sincere and loves this country be seeking to amend the Constitution 10 months before the election? On his proposal for citizen-funded campaigns, God willing, if there is consensus and Zambians agree that they want to walk together to transform this country, I'll ask for one thing, that Zambians themselves fund the campaign, not external forces. A democracy paid for by outsiders tends to serve their interests, not ours. A democracy bought by money lenders and power brokers will never be free. From his retirement announcement on October 12th, after much reflection and prayer, I have decided to step away from active legal practice at Simeza, Sangwa and Associates, the firm I co-founded and have served faithfully for more than 3 decades. This decision takes effect immediately. We cannot rebuild Zambia without sacrifice, and my decision to step away from the firm I founded is one such sacrifice. An offering of personal comfort for the greater purpose of national renewal. The firestorm surrounding John Sangwa's entry into politics reveals fault lines in Zambian society that run far deeper than partisan politics. This isn't simply about one lawyer deciding to run for president. It's about a crisis of legitimacy, a battle over truth, and the question of what Zambia has become 61 years after independence. The constitutional crisis. Sangwa's central argument, that Zambia has regressed since 1964, strikes at the heart of the national narrative. Independence was supposed to mark the beginning of Zambian prosperity. Kenneth Kanda's vision of humanism, the peaceful transition to multi-party democracy in 1991, the constitutional reforms of 2016, all were meant to move the country forward. Yet here is one of the country's most distinguished legal minds saying the opposite. Dr. Sishiwa, a prominent political analyst, weighed in on the government's reaction. Why are UPND leaders panicking when it comes to Sangwa? The ruling party's Lusaka province chairperson, Obvious Mwalateta, was quoted saying, "Sangwa must first get a wife before standing as president." Since when did having a spouse become a requirement for seeking election to any public office in Zambia? It seems the default position of UPND leaders is to speak confidently even on matters on which they are totally ignorant. The attacks on Sangwa's nationality, claims that he is Congolese rather than Zambian, were particularly telling. Sishiwa noted, Sangwa is as Zambian as they come and was born in Mansa on December 29, 1964. His father was Davies Sangwa from Winalunga district in northwestern province. His mother is from Luapula province. Even if one of his parents were not Zambian, and both are Zambian citizens by birth, he would still be eligible to stand for election as president because the parentage clause was removed from Zambia's constitution in 2016. The economic reality. Sangwa's critique centers on a paradox, a country rich in resources but poor in outcomes. Zambia has some of Africa's largest copper deposits, abundant agricultural land, and a strategic location in southern Africa. Yet corruption, mismanagement, and a weak judiciary have prevented these advantages from translating into widespread prosperity. His emphasis on judicial independence resonates with business leaders who have long complained about the difficulty of enforcing contracts in Zambia. The fact that commercial cases can languish in court for 20 years, as Sangwa noted, makes foreign investment risky. Without a strong judiciary, the rule of law becomes meaningless, and without the rule of law, economic development stalls. The political implications. The intensity of the government's response suggests genuine concern. Unlike other opposition figures, Sangwa cannot easily be dismissed as tribalistic, corrupt, or power-hungry. His record of challenging 5 different presidents, from both the MMD and PF to the current UPND, demonstrates consistency. He defended the Constitution when it served neither his political nor financial interests. Dr. Mwelwa wrote, "In African politics, nothing frightens the powerful more than a man who cannot be bought, broken, or silenced. John Sangwa, SC, is such a man, and his sudden appearance on Zambia's political stage has sent visible tremors through the ruling party. Sangwa's crime is not ambition, it is independence." Reverend Nevers Mumba, leader of the movement for multi-party democracy, welcomed Sangwa's entry. National leadership is not the exclusive preserve of career politicians. The table should allow distinguished Zambians who have shown exceptional competence in their fields of expertise to also participate without undue prejudice. After all, there is no specialized university that grooms presidents. The funding question. Perhaps the most innovative aspect of Sangwa's campaign is his proposal that every Zambian contribute K100, approximately $4, to fund his campaign. In a country where politics has traditionally been financed by wealthy individuals, foreign interests, or opaque sources, this represents a radical democratization of political finance. Sangwa explained, "I would rather ask Zambians to contribute K100 than go to foreigners, who would later dictate policies. If I fail to get 1 million supporters, I'll know Zambians don't believe in me." The proposal is both a fundraising strategy and a referendum on his candidacy, a test of whether ordinary Zambians share his vision for national renewal. Unresolved questions. Several critical questions remain unanswered. Can Sangwa transition from legal advocate to political leader? Will his movement for national renewal attract the organizational capacity needed to compete in a national election? Can he overcome the ethnic politics that have dominated Zambian elections? And most importantly, is Zambia truly worse off than in 1964, or is this an exaggeration born of frustration? The judiciary issue that Sangwa raises is particularly complex. While it's true that the Constitutional Court has been politicized and commercial litigation moves slowly, Zambia's courts are still more functional than those in many African countries. The question is whether better than the worst is an acceptable standard for a country with Zambia's potential. What remains clear is that John Sangwa has touched a nerve. Whether that nerve represents hope for change or fear of disruption depends on where you stand in Zambian society. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of InspirAfrica Official. This is a developing story that speaks to something much larger than one man's political ambitions. It's about the soul of a nation, the promise of independence, and whether that promise has been fulfilled or betrayed. John Sangwa's declaration that Zambia is worse off than in 1964 is provocative, controversial, and for many Zambians, deeply personal. Whether you agree with him or not, his willingness to sacrifice a successful legal career to pursue what he calls national renewal demands our attention. The question for Zambians, and indeed for all of us watching across Africa, is this: what does accountability look like in our time? Who gets to challenge those in power? And when someone does challenge them, are we prepared to listen, even if the message makes us uncomfortable? We want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think John Sangwa is right about Zambia's trajectory since independence? Is his citizen-funded campaign model something that could transform African politics? And what does his treatment by the government tell us about the state of democracy in Zambia? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like this video if you found it informative, and share it with anyone interested in African politics and the future of democratic governance on our continent. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter, more voices that need to be heard, and more conversations that shape the Africa we're building together. Until then, I'm Nakash, and this has been InspirAfrica Official. Stay inspired, stay informed, and never stop asking the hard questions.